Jesus is in this house, and that's most definite. I got not only Jesus in this house, I also have Itunu Joe in this house right now, man. You're in your car?
Yes, I am.
Oh, where are you heading? So it looks like you're kind of in your private jet.
No, not yet.
So it's 9:17 in the morning Eastern Standard Time, and I am speaking with Itunu Joe from Nigeria, who, if you go to the Meet the Bootleggers website, you will see all about Itunu, but now we're going to find out in live format. So you're in what part of Nigeria are you in?
I'm in Ilorin. Ilorin is like in the middle, like central part of Nigeria.
Okay, all right. And
yeah,
now
it's a small town.
Okay, what's the population there?
What?
What is the population there?
In my city, roughly 2-3 million.
Oh, and you said that was a small town?
compared to Lagos, Abuja, those are the big cities in Nigeria.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Nigeria is densely populated, unlike the US. Nigeria has a population of almost 250 million people.
Wow. Wow. And how long have you you're native there, correct?
Yeah, I grew up here. I was born here and grew up here.
Yeah, but you went to Northwestern College and graduated in 2014, right?
That was like a what do you call it now? Online classes.
Oh, okay. So you didn't actually Okay. Have you been to the US before? Have you been on our dirt?
No, I've not been to the US.
Okay. Do you have any desire to come to the US?
Well, the US is a very blessed country, so it's not so easy to get into the US.
Well, it is if you crawl under a fence.
Not a story.
we everybody who tries to do it the right way can't get in. The people like you that we would actually want to be here and welcome with open arms, can't get here, but the ones that are smuggling drugs and trafficking people,
crazy,
is that insane, man? It's insane. Yeah. Let me ask you this, and we try really hard, Joe, never to really get political, but I got to ask you, are there people like sneaking into Nigeria, like they sneak into the United States? Do they sneak in?
I really do not know, but what I know is that there are some treasures in Nigeria that some people might be interested in getting access to.
Oh, absolutely.
So but naturally, Nigeria, we have our own problems, so I don't think anybody wants to join us in serving.
Yeah, you guys have treasures people want to get in and take, and our treasures aren't really like historic treasures. Our treasure is they sneak in and then take our money.
One thing about Nigeria is that Nigeria has a large population of talented people.
Of what?
Of talented people, talented, gifted individuals.
Yeah.
We have hundreds of thousands, if not millions of them in Nigeria. Many of them have not even found opportunities,
Yeah.
But they are very gifted.
Yeah.
Should I shock you? I didn't really, when I was starting to learn drums, I didn't really learn it from anyone. I just picked it up and and that was it. Yeah. And there are tons of other people like me that I know personally and that are doing well all over the country, touring with artists all over the place that did not have any kind of formal training for their music. They just picked it up.
Yeah.
So
Well, I know one thing, man. You're one of the smokingest drummers I've ever really come across. Now we've been blessed with other drummers on tracks, but And again, I'm pretty sure JESUS was the first one we did together.
Yeah.
And people can actually go on our in our app and they can watch, because you do something very unique. You video your sessions.
Yes.
And then you always send me the video of the session with the music, which is highly cool. And then I've just been cataloging those and keeping those, and I make them available. And man, your hands are just like lightning fast. Yeah.
Thank you.
How many tracks have you played on? How many tracks have you recorded since you started recording?
I lost count. I know on Fiverr alone, I have recorded about 1,500 tracks in the past 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
about 1,500. But outside of Fiverr, not as much as Fiverr. So
right.
Plus or minus 1,500 songs. Yeah.
Well, I'm telling you right now, man, it's amazing what you do and how you do it. Now you have your own studio there in Nigeria, correct?
Yeah.
And that in the studio there, you're recording all kinds of different music, aren't you?
Yes, we do all kinds of music. We offer lots of audio services, from consultations to vocal recordings to music productions. And I think I produced a song for your friend, Pastor Bob.
Well, I was going to bring that up, that Itunu is actually the guy who recorded, or you produced that entire track. You did that entire thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I was talking the other day, and when we had you do that. It's funny. We talk about the process of making music all the time, and the cool thing is you literally. I just told you 120 beats per minute, and you sent me back just a drum track, just a steady beat. And then Bob sang to your beat.
He jumped on it, yeah.
And then I sent that back to you, and and then you sent me back a draft and a pass, and that's how that thing just started to come about, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Was that? Let me ask you this: was that hard? How hard? What was the degree of difficulty of just going off 120 beats a minute and a rough scratch vocal? Because you married it up perfectly.
Well, I don't have any issues with time. I'm a master of time, if you know what I mean. Like I know my way around time. So and around rhythm. But what I did for Pastor Bob, that first draft I sent was I recorded a loop of 8 bars, and then I looped it for a particular period of time.
Right. So,
and then after it came back to me for me to do the production, I replayed the drums properly.
Yeah.
So that was how I could add the fills in there. So
yeah,
it's easy for me to work that way.
Yeah. And when I sent that, I had actually originally found a rapper, a producer out in LA, and sent him. I had actually commissioned him to do it. And then in passing, I think I was listening to some of your stuff online and realized that, well, hell, I could have just asked you. And that's when I asked you. So Pastor Bob actually has another rap song that he's currently writing, but he's writing it to the other guy's track. So the track will be produced, except for I don't have the drums will have to be redone. So you'll end up playing the drums on that track.
Okay. Okay, that's great. You can send it in when it is ready.
Yeah. I'll send it when it's ready. As a matter of fact, Pastor Bob called me this morning, and I had to jump off the phone with him, but he's in the middle of writing that thing now. So, but it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So, what do you got going on? I did lose Joe for a second. He is, I think he's having some internet problem. It looks like his internet went down. Let me see if it came back up here, and we'll go from there. I am going to go ahead and spin one. I'm going to spin that Just Say Yeah of Pastor Bob's that Itunu and I were just talking about, and make sure he gets back online here, and we'll go from there. I'll be back in 3 minutes, 54 seconds. And here is Say Yeah that Itunu Joe produced and we put out for Pastor Snoop Dogg Bobby Bob.
Pastor Bob in the house. Everybody say yeah, yeah. Everybody say yeah, yeah. Yell by the skinny and yell by the fat, they know where it's at. Bumpy or flat, even with a hat or a baseball bat. Just say yeah. Yeah should be the answer when you get the call. Can you hear it at all? Say yeah before you fall. It'll cause an exaltation, open up communication, better than vacation, lead to your salvation, then a sweet elation and a tingling vibration in your soul. What a sensation! All because you said yeah. Ooh, now I can't help but wanna sing, and I can't help but wanna shout. You see, he left his heavenly home to tell you what it's all about, and the words he had to say will save your life today. But you gotta do something. Listen and I'll tell you what. To make it more clear, the word that you hear falling on your ear is the voice of the man who has a better plan, and it's all for you so you won't be blue. Help to keep you true, which so few ever do. But you want to know who? Well, his name is Jesus. He will never leave us. No matter your disaster, he can master faster than a war weapon blaster. Plan is to protect, inject, perfect, and all those who respect and say yeah to his call, y'all. You see, for God so loved me, he gave his only son, and all I had to do was believe. All right, ready to give his life. Well, he was crucified and he died up on Mount Calvary. Took all my sin away, paid my price in hell that day. Now let me hasten without wasting any more of your time, without rhythm or rhyme. Let Jesus in your mind if you want to feel sublime. You want to go to heaven, get rid of all the leaven and the sin in your life, and the strife and the feeling that you're lonely. If only you believe, then no longer would you grieve and wipe the tears on your sleeve. The Lord is reaching out, a kind and gentle shout, just for you. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? But now don't say later like a procrastinator, cause you're testing faith and it's not too late to say yeah. I'm gonna stop this rap. I've given you the map to follow, to swallow, so don't be hollow. Wait another night, just do what's right. The Holy Spirit's seeking, the word he's speaking. Come to Jesus is the call. Just say yeah, y'all. Just say yeah, y'all. Now Jesus is shouting your name, saying, come on, come on, come on, come on, come to me now. Come to me. Oh, come to me Pastor Bob in the house. Pastor Bob in the house. Pastor Bob in the house. Can you hear?
And that was Snoop Pastor Bob. And I'm talking to Itunu Joe from Nigeria right now. It is 9:32 a.m. Eastern Standard Time and 3:32 p.m. What time zone are you in? What would that be called?
West African time.
West African time. All right. It's so cool. We're on all 7 continents. I think our stats. All 7 continents, 139 countries. We basically are covering the globe with the music, and the players, just like yourself, Joe, are all over the place. How do you feel about that, being a part of the roster? I'm going to ask you. I mean, how's that? Is it cool, or you just what do you
Actually,
think?
it's an adventure for me. The fact that I could do something that is making sense to somebody that is about 6,000 miles away from me, it's an interesting adventure.
Yeah.
And one of my goals is that I wish that my 2 feet can get to where my music has been to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I've worked with people in all continents. I've worked with people in over 45 countries.
Wow.
I've done music for the Chinese, I've done for the Indians, I've done for the Americans, I've done for people in Australia, I've done music in different languages, So, but I've not left Nigeria. I've not gone out of Africa before. I've been to other countries in Africa, but I've not gone out of Africa before. And one of my goals is one day I will be able to touch down where my music has been.
Yeah. Well, in essence, I've been talking a lot, like I said, to other people that I consider bootleggers that make up the bootleggers, musician pool and writers and stuff like that. And the neat thing is you have been there, right? You've been you're touching people with your music in all these places, even though your feet haven't been there. You have left a large footprint on this globe. And I just think it's awesome. That's the beautiful thing about this. I'm not technology has its place, as we're not on social media, but this is the best part. This is one of the good parts of technology. Just the fact that you and I can even have this conversation together, and see each other and experience. And you gave me a tour of your studio over there, and then asked me for a tour of ours. And it's just cool that you can actually at least feel a little more part of each other, don't you think?
That's right. That is right.
Yeah. And now you play out quite a bit, don't you? I see you play. Do you have your own band? Your own band that you play out?
Yeah, I own a studio, so I have a lot of, like I told you, I have talented people around me. So sometimes we go out, sometimes I'm invited to perform. I do drum solos, like drum performances. So
right.
I have a small band where I just go there and do my thing,
Yeah.
Rain down the sticks and
Yeah. How long? And his slogan is, "I beat things for a living."
Yeah, right. Like I beat a lot of things for a living. I beat drums for a living. I beat depression for a living. I beat hunger for a living. There's so many things I beat on a daily basis to survive.
That cracked me when I saw that. I beat things for a living. I was like, that is all right, dude. It didn't take me long, man, to send you that first track. I think
what made you decide to message me? What did you see in my profile then that made you say, "Hey, I'm gonna work with this guy"?
I beat things for a living. Dude, I'll tell you the story. So Fernando Perdomo, if you've looked him up at all, Fernando is an incredibly talented dude. He's multi instrument. And, you know, I've been playing the drums, Joe, since I was 5. And I play a lot of instruments, but the only instrument I actually play on any track, and sometimes probably 80%, I'll lay down the scratch with my guitar, or I'll lay the scratch down with my piano. I don't play on my own tracks. I'd rather get somebody that's way better. Okay. So Fernando laid some guitar for me early on a couple of years ago. And then he plays the drums also. So I had him lay some drum tracks, and he is a great drummer. He's great at everything he does. But on JESUS, he was on tour, and I needed another drummer, and I had another drummer in LA, Yavo. I don't know if you know who Yavo is, but he's a smoking drummer as well. But I thought, you know what? I'm gonna search again. I'm gonna search and see, because I knew how I wanted this song done. And I came upon your profile, and this is really going to sound weird, man. I have hired probably 95% of the people that play with us by their picture. And you are just, I am not kidding you. I have hired, I will look. I didn't actually listen to really anything till I made the decision, but you are adorable as hell. You have I mean this, I look at that face and think, and this is me, man. God put everybody in my life here, everybody in my life. It's some way or another. He has placed people in my life, and it has never been wrong. It's never been wrong. Never, not once. And then, of course, I beat things for a living, and then, you know, you kind of read, and you read the reviews, and I take reviews as a grain of salt, really. But the one consistent thing that kept coming up about you was that you listened, and that you delivered more. You delivered more than was expected. And that's pretty daggone important. It's that means you're putting in a lot of effort you're not just flopping out a track.
Yeah.
And you've never done that. You've never just flopped out a track to me. Never. Now, I will say this. I have never had to ask you, because, you know, the way I feel is I can tell you kind of what I hear. And sometimes I do. I'll say, hey, come in at 30 seconds. You know, I try to give as best direction as I can is what I hear. But as far as the rest goes, it's up to you. It's up to the musician. What do you feel? You know, and you've always done it, man. I mean, now, I mean, all I got to do is ask, and you're turning the stuff fast, and it's not about fast. I mean, it's not about fast. You know what I mean? I mean, but you turn it fast, and I think we work well together. You tell me, am I full of crap? I mean, I really think you know exactly what I'm looking for every time I send you a track.
Yes, I've come to understand your style. It's not always this straightforward with people I work with. Sometimes the first time I work with people, we go back and forth a number of times before we come to a conclusion. But with you, the first attempt was good. So I knew that all I had to do was just maintain a particular style for you that works well with the bootleggers music. And, yeah. And another thing is that I before I record the song, I listen to the song a number of times. I listen. I just put on repeat a number of times. And then the major thing is to find what rhythm would work for this song.
Right.
Once I settle that, the rest is history. It's just to put in fills in here and there.
Well, I know one thing, man. Your drum set, your setup is amazing, man. What are you beating on there? Is that what kind of stuff?
So my drums, the drums itself is a DW concept, PDP. It's a maple wood drum, and I have a Black Panther snare by Mapex. I have a Black Panther snare. That's what I use for all your recordings, the Black Panther snare.
Yeah.
And then my cymbals, I'm endorsed to Murat the Real Cymbals. It's not a very popular brand, but it's a Turkish company, and they give me a sound that I don't think I can find in any other company, you know.
Yeah.
They are handmade cymbals, so they are well crafted. Yeah. And then the other thing is the way I tune the drums and the way I mic the drums. You know, I took my time to study.
Yeah, I was just going
to study how. Yeah.
I was just going to say that is I've seen your setup, and you know that is an art by itself, isn't it? Miking drums. It's an art.
It's an art and a science. You know, because you got to understand how, you know, the normal rules we learn in audio school, like the inverse square law, the 3-to-1 ratio rule. You got to know how to apply that. You have to know which mics to use for your kind of drum, for you to be sure that you're getting the right results. So I took my time to study all of that before I got into miking. I use different brands because I'm not the type that believes in buying a set of mics for drums. I rather handpick what I think will work best for different parts of the drum.
Yeah.
Yeah. It has worked for me very well.
Yeah, I have a set. Brother Wayne Maxwell has his 5-piece set of DWs here, and I have the capability of recording. People often ask why I don't record the drums myself, which we already explained that. Itunu Joe's a hell of a lot better drummer than I am. And you know, you are. I mean, I know how to call it. And also, if in order for me to record drums here, then I got to go through all that stuff that you've taken years to master. Why do it? It doesn't, you know, it's easier for, it's easier for me. And
I know, right?
Yeah, it's easier and it's cheaper. I mean, if I went out and bought those mics that you have, I mean, you got to have thousands of dollars just in mics.
Oh yeah.
You know, and then not in your time. I mean, it had to have taken you hours and hours of time to figure out the proper positioning and where they go.
It took me days.
I would think, I would think even longer than that. And you probably still to this day, I'm sure you're making your adjustments because I've seen your setup. I've seen how your mics move. I mean, I know now I have specific in my DAW. I have set up for a song, pre-templated setup for Itunu Joe. So now I know you send me 10 stems, I drop all 10 in. They are already pre-done as far as the tweaking goes. And then I go in and tweak the settings based on what the song is. And it's really it's a neat process of how I've really learned your drums. I've learned what you do, how you do it. And I'm sure I send you every master that we have. and I know you know, man, I'm slicing those drums up and using some of those magical
I know,
licks.
right?
I slice them up and use those magical licks in other places, so I can slice and dice, and I can always look forward to something surprising from you in the drums. And just like Roger Tiny Cores, our bass player, who I'm going to be speaking with on Wednesday here, Roger, that dude is off the chart. That guy, he ain't right in the head, man. Some of the stuff he does. And I can always count on Roger to give me a lick or two that I can slice and place someplace else and use it, several other places, So, and the process of making music, what do you like the most about making music?
Well, I I enjoy manipulating stuff. Like I enjoy it. I enjoy editing. Oh my God. I made an entire music using just one sample. Just one sample, just one hit. Cool, cool. And I made it into a full music. I like playing around with things like that. Yeah. Because that in the Nigerian music community, especially the gospel music community in Nigeria, there is this constant lookout for, hey, what's new? That kind of thing. Like everyone is on their toes, So I like it when I do my music and then you ask me, what did you do? Like you're not able to figure out what I did by yourself. You have to ask me for you to know. I love that. Yeah. Many people don't like that process. Most people just like to drag and drop stuff, but I enjoy manipulating things a lot. I enjoy it. Yeah, I love the process, man. That's why I just love taking, like you said, an idea or a thought or whatever, and then putting the pieces together. And me, I don't. We don't use any. I use no pre-recorded anything, no loops, no nothing. Everything's got to be. You play live,
Yeah, everything's got to be a live instrument, a live player, because that's where I'm going to get my feeling from. And so I dig that. Yeah. I actually threw you quite the curveball with that last one that we're working on. That's a buddy of mine. His name is Mike Popov, and he's never recorded before. And I threw Itunu. This is how good this dude is. All I did was I'm talking about you, man. I just sent you a freaking 120 beat click and said try to figure out how to put this together, because Mike was so nervous. He's never recorded, and he could not stay on a click. And and me, I don't stay on it all the time either. Yeah. But it was atrocious, actually. And I just sent Joe this, we buried Mike and just put the click track up, man. How much of a pain in the butt was that? Because I'm telling you, usually you flip around these things a long time. I'm like, take your time, man, because I have no clue what the hell's happening here.
Well, the thing is, for that, you're talking about the last project we just worked on, yes?
I'm sorry. Yeah, the one and we're not even done. I'm not even done. I got to get Mike back in here.
Yeah,
that was quite the.
I kind of enjoyed it. I enjoyed taking the responsibility to fix the time.
Yeah.
I enjoy that process too.
I think it'll come out. I think it's going to come out okay. I got to get Mike back in here. I actually think now it'll be easier for him to. I think it'll be easier now for him to play with the live drums behind him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I think that's what he was really missing. Was having the live drums, because I had him playing. I had him playing his rhythm to a click track, and it just wasn't working out. So, but I'm talking to Itunu Joe from Nigeria right now. He is in his car with his radio coming on, And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually punch up another track that we just released, as a matter of fact. And Joe, he turned this thing around. I actually had produced this in June of last year, and I basically started the production June of last year, and then something told me to go ahead and release it. And it's One Bad Day Away, and it was just released.
Yeah.
Joe turned that around in what, 24 hours, I think.
Yeah. I think I didn't. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and spin this. We'll be back with Itunu Joe in 2 minutes and 58 seconds. And this is One Bad Day Away.
We look away as we get closer, conveniently pretend to take a call. The torn dress is from her husband. He took his life after they took his farm. We call her homeless. He called her princess. We're all one bad day away from sleeping on a stone. He served with honor, fighting for his country, but the battle in his mind rages on. Everything he owns is in that backpack, a parting gift from Uncle Sam after losing his arm. We call him homeless. We once called him to defend us. We're all one bad day away from sleeping on a stone. Shame is rarely spoken. Most of us, it's easy to ignore, but it's here and it's real. People hear me. We cannot make excuses anymore. We call them homeless. They were once just like us. We're all one bad day away from sleeping on a stove. Oh yeah. Yeah, we call them homeless, but people, let's not make them hopeless. We're all one bad day away from sleeping on a stove.
And that was One Bad Day Away. I'm talking to Itunu Joe. It is 9:55 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on 12/12/22. I remember 12/12/12, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, 12/12/12. But I'm talking to Itunu. He is turned off his video. He is driving, so he's got to pay attention now. Now he's driving. So he's still with us on the audio, but he's driving. We were just talking. Itunu asked me what our plans were for 2023. Let me ask you, what are your plans for 2023?
2023. I want to take a shot at traveling.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to take a shot at traveling. Visit a few countries. If possible, for musical purposes. If not, maybe just for fun.
Yeah. Well, our plans are basically we're start going out and playing, and probably the May, June time frame, and get out there for festivals and fairs and things like that. And then Itunu asked me what our plans were. My biggest goal for 2023 is to kind of gravitate away from being on Spotify, pushing people there. Our music will still be available there, but we're trying to get people in to our app and our website and the radio station to listen. We will, we have all our music, we have playlists available in the app so they can listen to all kinds of different. I'm going to expand the playlist that we have. But we really are trying to get people to understand kind of what's going on with the streaming services. I don't know how you feel about it, but you know, when you look at the math, artists, it's so hard to make a living putting music out. I mean, do artists make a living in Nigeria playing? Can you make a living just playing in Nigeria?
Oh, well, with the help of the internet and all of that now, like me, you know, I do music full time,
right?
And I wouldn't be able to make a living this much if not for freelancing, if not for Fiverr and some other websites, and for international clients that I have. I can't say the same for the average Nigerian musician.
Right. As an artist releasing music,
As
unless
artists,
you're touring and you're touring constantly, it's almost impossible. It's not like it used to be where people liked your music and they bought an album. They're not buying it, and I think a lot of people think by streaming they're paying. You know, the artist gets paid, and I'm sorry. Yeah.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, and it's just not. That's just not how it is. I mean, so we're just trying to educate people on that, and because there's a lot of people putting out a lot of great music that they're not able to go tour. They're not going to be able to make enough money going out and touring because it's pretty daggone expensive. I don't know how much is gas over in Nigeria right now.
Well, like in my part of the country, the cost of living is not so hot. I mean, for less than $1,000, I get a very decent apartment. $1,000 per year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I got a super decent apartment in my part of the country. It's not the same in the other bigger cities. You know,
Right.
but I think the big break that most of the musicians have had would be the advent of social media.
Yeah.
I've met a number of artists that their stuff blows up on YouTube, you know, blows up on TikTok, on Instagram, and they get to pay for it.
Yeah.
Like I met a guy 2 days ago who makes way more than the middle class wage.
Yeah.
Way more than the. I mean, if he's making that kind of money in the US, he'll be very comfortable. Not to talk of in Nigeria.
Yeah.
And he made all that money from YouTube, you know.
Yeah.
So the advent of social media has actually brought a change into, again, for those that are able to plunge into it, and for those that are able to optimize that opportunity.
Yeah.
Even musicians, there's some musicians that play in churches and they record themselves, and their YouTube channels are getting crazy views, you know.
Yeah.
So
well, and that's what it's about, man.
That's
You gotta,
like the thing now.
Yeah, that's what it's about. You have to be, and you have to be in the millions, man. You got to be in the millions. And I was talking to Ulrich Ellison the other day, and if a song doesn't get spun the heck out of, he can make more money selling 2 albums than all the other stuff that's going on. But, so Ituna, out of respect for your time, I want to make sure that you get on with your day. Is there anything, any last words? Where can we send people to check out some of your stuff? And I know you've got your YouTube channel, does real well. So you can look up Itunu Joe, and that's ITUNU Joe. And where else can we send it?
My Instagram, my Facebook, my Twitter.
Okay. And you can actually go to the Meet the Bootleggers webpage and go scroll down to Joe and get to just about anything you want to of Joe's, and that'll take care of that. Well, Joe, I appreciate you hopping on here with me this morning, and maybe we can get you back on some other time as well. And I'm going to take us out of here with Beer Boats and My Baby that Joe played on. So we've been playing all the tracks that Joe played on, and Beer Boats and My Baby coming up. And Joe, hang in there for a second. Let me say goodbye to you in private, but I'll be back in 3 minutes and 11 seconds to finish out the second hour here of the day. So here we go.
Been working all week just to earn my keep. I've had all the PCBS I need. I'm going down to the water, boat in tow. Gonna pack my cooler, grab my baby in a bottle of Capitone. Beer boats and my baby for the next 2 days. Throw that cell phone in the trunk, let the battery drain. I'm going anti-social for the next 48. Beer boats and my baby in a little George Strait. What you got over there, Roger?
Got some friends down in Georgia, know the low country boy. Gonna catch me some catfish and stretch my toes in the soil. We can dance in the moonlight, fiddle around by the fire. Going down by the river with my baby, I couldn't get much higher. Beer boats and my baby for the next 2 days. Gonna throw that cell phone in the trunk and let my battery drain. Going anti-social for the next 48. Beer boats and my baby in a little George Strait. Beer boats and my baby for the next few days. Gonna throw that cell phone in the trunk and let my battery drain. Going anti-social for the next 48. Beer boats and my baby in a little George Strait. Beer boats and my baby in a little George Strait.
That's what I'm talking about. And you've been listening to my interview with Itunu Joe from Nigeria. You can go to the Meet the Bootleggers page. Check out Itunu Joe. He is a smoking drummer. And I want to thank you for joining us and watching this video on our YouTube channel. Now, you can always listen live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time
on our radio station. Just go to bootleggersmusicgroup.com. You can go to radio and you can download our app or you can stream it there. Thanks for tuning in, and please make sure you subscribe to our station and share this video. Have a great day. God bless.